Top 10 places to visit in Washington State. Hello and welcome to my channel. Beautiful Washington State is a recipe for relaxation. Scenic spots also include the magical mystery all along the stunning coast here too. Just south of Vancouver Island in Canada, bustling Seattle gives way to the meandering Puget Sound, the playground for transient orca whales here. It's the ideal place to see them. The dramatic Olympic Peninsula juts out into the Pacific Ocean and nestles up to the Strait of Juan de Fuca in the Salish Sea. The boundary line between the US and Canada runs right down it, and dozens of beautiful islands. Before we begin, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any future updates. Number 10. Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River Gorge sits in southern Washington, forming a natural border between Washington and Oregon. A river may not sound like much to look at, but the gorge that the river cuts through can rival any site in the Pacific Northwest. From the best viewpoints in the gorge, you can see Mount Hood towering above the surrounding mountains. The best things to do in the Columbia River Gorge involve the outdoors. There are pristine hiking trails all along Evergreen Highway that runs parallel to the Columbia River here. Beacon Rock is a great hike for sweeping views after just a 1.5-mile walk as you climb the core of an ancient volcano. Cape Horn Loop Trail also leads to a lookout of the gorge on a longer hike. Many of the state parks along the Columbia River Gorge here also offer campgrounds to stay at, including Beacon Rock State Park and Columbia Hills State Park. Dog Mountain, completely draped in bright yellow flowers, will take your breath away. Number 9. The Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. LaConner, Washington is a quaint fishing town on the Skagit River. It is 67 miles north of Seattle or 88 miles south of Vancouver, British Columbia, and is a lovely town filled with beautiful little hotels, B&Bs, and artisan shops. One of the best things to do here is window shop the dozens of antique shops for unique finds and refurbished furniture. But the main attraction is Skagit Valley's Spring Tulip Festival. The farmers' fields surrounding LaConner and beyond come alive with thousands and thousands of color-saturated tulip blossoms. For a small entrance fee, you can walk through the fields and purchase tulips or bulbs. But even if you miss the festival, the 21-mile Coconut Drive makes a memorable day out of LaConner along the scenic Pacific Ocean with awe-inspiring views. Drive slowly, stop and take lots of photos, and savor seafood fresh from the sea at one of the amazing eateries along the way. Number 8. Bainbridge Island. Another one of the most beautiful places in Washington is Bainbridge Island. This approximately 28-square-mile island is just a short 35-minute ferry ride from downtown Seattle. It has 53 miles of shoreline dotted with gorgeous beaches, but even the island's interior has breathtaking forests, hikes, and viewpoints. Bainbridge is a fun day trip, no matter the season, but June through September is most popular because there's less rain and more daylight for enjoying outdoor activities. As soon as you arrive, take the waterfront trail system from the ferry dock to downtown Bainbridge. You'll get water views before landing among adorable shops, eateries, and wineries. Don't forget to fuel up at one of the incredible Bainbridge Island restaurants before making your way to other outdoor adventures. Once satiated, drive to Fort Ward State Park, which has 2 historic arms batteries within a 137-acre park full of trails weaving through the woods. Afterwards, head to Grand Forest with its 7 miles of easy walking trails. For more water views, head to Lytle Beach. This small beach is in a residential area of Bainbridge Island and is barely visited by tourists. End your day here enjoying the sunset before making your way back to the ferry. Number 7. The Enchantments. Hiking the Enchantments in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness area is one of the best ways to see Washington's beauty up close. It's no secret, though, and has become a coveted place to explore. Hikers and backpackers converge on this area to get lost in the woods for a bit. Fortunately, the area is covered in alpine lakes with abundant streams to cool off in. Lakes like 8 Mile and Caroline are great stopping points for day hikers or the perfect sites for campers. However, one of the most spectacular parts of the Enchantments awaits further up the trail. Campers can wake up with some coffee and take a day hike to Windy Pass. A couple miles past Lake Caroline, the forest opens up to a verdant meadow of native grasses and wildflowers. Follow the stream to its source and take a moment to just breathe it all in. The views are truly special. Just one look and you will understand why they named this area the Enchantments. Number 6. Deception Pass State Park. If you're lucky enough to get to spend some time in Deception Pass State Park, you're in for a real treat. It's the most visited state park in Washington, which is pretty amazing considering there are over 200 state parks to choose from. Visitors will find plenty to do in the area, including 38 miles of hiking trails. Bowman's Bay is quite popular, fresh and saltwater for swimming, and several miles of bike riding trails. You can spend a leisurely day picnicking at Rosario Beach, examining the tide pools and watching a glorious sunset. Deception Pass also is an excellent place for kayaking and getting a close-up look at the marine life in the area. Of course, even those spending their time on the beach can frequently spot seals and otters near the shore. Walking across Deception Pass Bridge is an experience in itself. It's actually made of two bridges connecting Fidalgo Island to Whidbey Island. At almost 1,500 feet long and 180 feet above the water, the narrow pedestrian lane is not for the faint of heart. There are many other things to do and see nearby throughout the year, including flower festivals, bald eagle festivals, and much more. Number 5. North Cascades National Park. Looking for epic things to do in the state of Washington, North Cascades National Park is arguably one of the most picturesque and underrated national parks in the entire United States. With thick pine forests, impressive glaciers, and the dramatic Cascade Mountains, this remote area is home to all sorts of wildlife, including grizzly bears and wolves. The North Cascades Highway snakes through this park, offering jaw-dropping views in all directions. However, if you want to explore deeper than simply stopping at viewpoints, you're in luck, because North Cascades National Park is home to some of the best hikes in Washington state. Whether you're looking for a short and relatively easy jaunt or a multi-day backpacking adventure, you'll find a hike that's suited to your level and preference. One of North Cascades' must-see landmarks is Diablo Lake, which is an otherworldly shade of teal and is flanked by mountains that are just as gobsmacking. If you visit during the summertime, you may be lucky enough to spot idyllic purple and golden wildflowers that pop up in this area. The combination of shockingly turquoise lakes, colorful blooms, and rugged snow-capped peaks looming in the distance make this part of northern Washington seem almost too beautiful to be real. Number 4. Mount Rainier. Dramatic Mount Rainier leaves both visitors and locals awestruck. It's one of the best places to visit in Washington state. At 14,410 feet, it is the tallest of all the Cascade peaks and is the most glaciated mountain in the contiguous United States. Also known as Tacoma, it is an active volcano in the nation's 5th national park. Despite this grandeur, the mountain is enjoyed as a backdrop in views throughout the region and is easily accessible for hiking, camping, and exploring. Backpackers can enter the lottery to hike the famed Wonderland Trail. Be sure to explore the visitor centers in the park to discover the stories of the first people of Tacoma and to learn about the powerful natural forces behind the extraordinary beauty of Mount Rainier. Number 3. Olympic Peninsula. Composed of wild shoreline rainforests and staggering mountain peaks, Olympic National Park has something for everyone. It's one of the top places to see in Washington state. The thing that makes Olympic National Park so special is Hoh Rainforest, the only temperate rainforest in the United States, located on the Olympic Peninsula. Walk a portion of the 17.3-mile Hoh River Trail to see the vibrant green ferns and rainforest flora, or walk it in its entirety to end up at Blue Glacier. There are lots of great hikes that depart from the Hurricane Ridge Visitor Center, so you can pick something that best meets your fitness level. Visiting Olympic National Park is wonderful year-round, but it is perhaps best visited in the summer, so you can explore the beaches, or in the early fall when the weather is still on the warm side but the summer vacation crowds have subsided. Number 2. Snoqualmie Falls. One of the beautiful places in Washington state not to be missed is Snoqualmie Falls, which is instantly recognizable as the waterfall in the iconic TV show Twin Peaks. The waterfall, framed by a forest of trees, is picture postcard perfect. 1.5 million visitors each year visit this breathtakingly beautiful attraction to stand on the observation deck and feel the power of the water gushing over the cliff and crashing 268 feet down onto the river below. The mists rising from the bottom of the falls gives it a mystical feel that somehow typifies Washington state nature. The best time to visit is during the rainy season between November and March, when the river is high and the falls is a curtain of water. Snoqualmie Falls can easily be visited as a day trip from Seattle. In fact, exploring the falls is a top thing to do near Seattle. Number 1. San Juan Islands. There are more than 400 islands that make up the archipelago of the San Juan Islands in the Salish Sea just north of Seattle. But the best known are San Juan Island, which is the most visited, Orcas Island, which draws hikers to Mount Constitution, and Lopez Island is easy to settle into relaxed island life here with leisurely forests or coastal walks on a late summer evening. Beautiful sights abound here. Even in midsummer, when tourism is at its peak, the islands feel quiet and carefree. What do you think about our video? Tell us in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or suggestions, then feel free to mention them in the comment section, and we will surely respond to your request. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.